Hello? Oh. Hello. Sorry, I was thrown off by... That was weird. It gave, like, the end stream pop-up. Are we actually alive? Are we good? Are we here? Hi, everybody.
I don't know.
It says we're live.
I just sit here until you tell me to say something.
I don't know why it was giving, like, the stream is over pop-up at the end there. That was weird. Good morning, everybody. How's it going?
Did you tell people that we were streaming today?
I did.
Okay. Sounds good.
There are 14 whole people here.
I don't believe them.
Hello, 14 whole people. GB said hi, so I'm gonna take that to mean we are here.
Okay. I'll allow it.
That's all we're going off of, though. Sound like your coffee's done. You want me to grab it, or you want to grab it?
I want you to grab it.
Okay. You want to trust me to mix the yeah. Talk about things.
I don't have anything to talk about.
Well, you elected to stay at the table, so you got to talk about something.
It's because I'm cold. Good morning.
Entertaining the masses.
I don't have
of 15
anything.
people.
It's 11 now. We lost him.
Oh. See, this is what happens when you don't have anything to talk about.
Well, it's not my fault. You take 45 minutes for coffee. Our Christmas got delayed. We're not having Christmas this week. That's why yesterday was canceled. We weren't able to do the show because we were depressed. Because Christmas isn't not happening this week for us. So, due to a COVID scare, we are waiting until mostly January.
Next week sometime, yeah. Probably like very end of January.
So that sucked.
Yeah.
I like how COVID is like,
days.
We won't kill any of your friends or family, but no Christmas for you. Save that for 2021. Yeah.
Oh, you also have new hair, I think.
No, I had this hair on Friday.
Oh, did you? I guess I don't know. Maybe. I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
I think you did.
Autumn's
we
only
talked about
here
dyeing
like half the time. Ursa says, I have something to talk about. I was up all night because I was having nightmares about immigration services and DHS.
Oh, well that sucks.
Oh, I had a dream about Matt, but I don't remember it. I texted it to Matt so that I wouldn't forget. Let me tell you what I dreamed about Matlock. Where is it? Then he had to apologize for showing up in my other dream because I feel like he was overstepping his subconscious bounds. Oh right, he was at clubs and he was picking up women and then he would take them home and then he would murder their rapists. But in his free time, he did like muscly hot guy shit, which is apparently walking around a dystopian abandoned city and fixing things, and then you stumble across a young boy who had built an entire underground hideout and had a bunch of robots working for him. That was the whole dream. To set the setting, though, it was like a dystopian Westworld looking Mad Max kind of thing. Matt was the main character. I don't know if it looked like Matt. You know how your brain just like goes like, that's a person, but like you didn't visualize them at all?
Yeah.
That's what it was like.
This is why we talked about this when you brought this up before, but like it's really weird to me that you can have dreams that you're not in.
Yeah, I was not in this dream.
I never knew that was something you could do. It never happens to me. All my dreams are from my perspective. And I don't know if that's odd or if that's normal and I'm weird.
In fairness, I had a dream that my sister killed me Gmon murder style.
The Cheshire Servant says just graduated college and having nightmares about missing class. Yeah, that sounds like
I heard
my
that
life.
Wait, I heard that people are having extremely vivid and nightmarish dreams because of the I don't know what the right word to call it is because everyone's calling it something different. The retrograde. The planets.
We're not doing another astrology episode.
No, this is what people are saying.
No.
It's the dawning of the age of Aquarius, and therefore we're all having vivid dreams about it.
Okay. I'm not having vivid dreams at all.
You never have vivid dreams.
I know. So maybe...
If anything spiritual was to truly exist, you would be the last person to know about it. You have no subconscious connection to spiritual things.
That seems unfair.
It was a little rude. It sounded ruder than I meant for it to be. So yeah, that's why we're all having bad dreams, because Saturn's bothering us. Or maybe it's Jupiter. One of them is picking on your sleep. You know what I did find out, though?
What?
That, there is, if you drink tart cherry juice, specifically tart cherry juice, before sleeping, like an hour or two before going to bed, on average, people will get an extra 85 minutes of sleep.
Interesting.
Yeah. There was like a whole big study done on it. It naturally increases your melatonin levels.
I guess that makes sense. And so you sleep longer? I mean, it makes sense that there are things you could consume that would change, that would give you a sleep boost. I mean, we can make things that can help you sleep, so like, why wouldn't there be some things in nature that can help you sleep a little bit?
It's cherries.
Cherries, huh?
Tart cherry juice.
That usually just means that like it's made from cherries that weren't ripe yet, right? So it's definitely like a very specific, just chemical thing. Phoenix Rising says Saturn or Jupiter is just trolling us.
I feel bad about Ursa.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was... ICE stuff always... If I think about any of the immigration stuff, I freak out.
Yeah.
Despite not feeling like it's applicable to me, but once I found out that ICE was just, like, separating families who were American citizens, I was like, well, there are no rules here. We're all in danger. But I feel bad about that. Oh,
I mean, we're not all in danger. You and I are fine.
I mean, I think it's more, yes, yes, it's not a personal danger. I think it's more of like when large institutes no longer have to follow the rules that they're designed to control them, and then they start doing whatever they want and harming people. Well, they should never harm anybody. But when they do start actively harming people, that even is against the protocol that they have to specifically harm certain people, then I don't think anyone's safe. I mean, I think we're safe from not getting picked out of our homes and dropped into Mexico, but...
Yeah, no, it's definitely a bad sign.
I think if we as society allow ourselves to be like, I am the safe ones, and you are not the safe ones, and therefore I will sleep tonight, then we're half the problem.
Yeah.
We're not half the problem. We're a part of the problem.
I mean, that's usually not paying attention to things until they happen to you is usually the surest way to let things just completely dissolve.
Autumn did have a new segment where he was going to, I think the rules were that Autumn would give us a word, but I think it's mostly me, and I have to pronounce it correctly, and I have chances to do it. I have 1 out of 10 points, and for every mispronunciation, I lose a point.
Okay.
And I think I get accumulated points at the end of the week or day or something, and therefore get a prize, which is your job to give to me.
Oh.
Give me prizes.
I don't have a prize, but you can try doing this.
Well, it's the beginning of the week, so you have till the end of the week to figure out what you're going to get me. And there's a good chance I will run through all 10 of my chances without ever getting the word right.
Okay. If you can get at least 3 points, I'll give you your Christmas presents. But if not, you'll have to. I'll burn them.
Wait.
That's your prize.
Wait. I don't like that.
It's only 3.
Ursa is speaking to me. I had a conversation maybe a month ago with people in a different Discord server about mildly about immigration, and I was thinking do I even know illegal immigrants? And I was like, oh, I know a shit ton. I know so many, and at the very absolute least, I can say every single one of them has contributed more to society than I have. So many of them. And they're all white. Or white passing, I guess. Every single one of them that I know that is an illegal immigrant is white passing. And I don't want to out them, obviously, so I'm not going to talk about who they are individually. But there's literally all the people who are super racist are oh, illegal immigrants are... Don't worry about me. Whatever. Anyway, that's all. I know a lot of illegal immigrants, and I don't... Obviously, people who don't like them don't know them. Or they would like them too. They're very sweet people. The ones I know. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a lot to have to
Kyle
have on
woke
your
up
mind.
grumpy
I did, I'm sorry.
And when Kyle is grumpy, he will not talk about anything. It just like spirals in his brain until he doesn't get ungrumpy either. He just stays grumpy and is grumpy and just cannot think. He does not converse.
I was kind of out of it.
You usually wake up grumpy, though.
Yeah. I was awake a little bit late last night. And then, again, I also, like, ate really bad yesterday, so that always makes me feel bad the next day.
Yeah.
Didn't exercise, which also doesn't help. And then I woke up and was just, like, tripping over stuff because the house isn't clean. And then McCree had peed all over something again. I had to clean that up.
It's just his thing, though, you know?
It was just annoying. Oh, also my ears, like, clogging up again, which is always frustrating.
Oh, no! That's the worst.
Yeah.
I've never seen Kyle in a...
Oh, that one time when I, like,
there is
couldn't
not
hear.
A worse Kyle to deal with than Kyle with his ear clogged. I swear to God. There's never, like, your grandfather died and you were easier to deal with than when your ear was clogged for a week. I swear.
There was one time where I don't know what happened. It was just for some reason, like, one ear just, like, completely got blocked off and I just couldn't hear out of that ear.
Yeah.
It was like, I mean, it was like if you hold your hand over your ear, like, tight for
Yeah, it was
forever.
the other ear.
Was it the other ear?
Yep.
This time it was this one.
Yay.
Yay.
No, we need to get that
Yeah, no, it was
weird
extremely
Amazon ear
frustrating.
sucky thing.
I didn't... Oh, with the weird camera on it?
Yeah, they have Amazon, they have, like, ear things that have cameras on them, so I can actually look in your ear and tell you what's going on, because the last few times were... Don't put things in people's ears. We're gonna, but don't do it. It's dangerous.
It's very... It's surprising how, like, how much it affects your mood to, like, have one of your senses damaged or modified or removed. I wasn't aware that would, like, bother me that much.
Yeah.
But it was extremely frustrating while it was happening.
Yeah. That's why like one of the things I'm worried about with COVID is getting my sense of smell and taste removed.
I could see that being awful if you're used to having that.
Kill me. My family describes me as like a super smeller. Which is honestly almost as bad as not smelling at all. It's a curse with
everything my face can't do, Allison's can do like 5 times as good as anybody else's.
That's true. I have like super senses.
I'm pretty sure you can see a wider range of colors than other people, which is a thing.
I'm also pretty sure I can do that.
It's a roughly similar percentage of mostly women can see a lot lot I
think women are more likely to have an extra cone,
right.
And men are more likely to be colorblind. Colorblind, yeah.
And then, I also can't smell or taste pretty much anything. And Allison once smelled me boiling water from inside the shower upstairs.
No, I was in the shower.
She was in the shower upstairs. I started boiling water, and she texted me, "Are you cooking something?"
Yeah.
And that's all. I don't know what else to say about that. That's what she can do that.
That's true. I can smell like burning wood fires and stuff in the cold, like during wintertime, like blocks away. It sucks. We were running one day and I nearly vomited because I could taste the smell of something that had lingered in like the neighborhood. Like it was like a perfume or some sort of like really fragrant flower or something. And I could taste it every time I took a breath in and out, and I almost gagged. And that's just my life. Though I don't think I can hear well. Well,
interesting.
That might not be true. And this all could just be side effects of anxiety. Having like hypersenses.
I mean, that doesn't make you. If I'm anxious, my nose does not get better.
Well, you don't have anxiety. You're not like ready for bad things to happen at all times, and therefore your senses
I think if I did
alert.
get anxiety, it wouldn't. Still, I mean, it would make I might be more aware of the things that I can sense, but I still can't smell things.
That's a good point.
Like it doesn't affect what my nose can physically do.
That's a good point. Sorry, Autumn said that's a thing. I need that real bad right now. But I don't know.
Ear thing.
Oh yeah, it's like $20 or $30. I'm excited to use it because there was nothing. I mean, outside of having your literal ear clogged, I think the only other annoying part would be to be me trying to look at your ear and see if there's anything that we could actually get out of his ear. So rip that.
Albert Green asked, "What is the smell of boiling water?"
Hot. The smell is heat.
That was it. You just smelled the hot.
Heat has a smell. I don't know how to describe it. It's the smell of the sensation of hot.
But how did you smell that from downstairs while in the hot water yourself?
My water was not boiling hot like yours was.
I know, but it was still
okay.
like in the way.
So to be completely honest and fair, so people don't think I'm actually a superhero, we have an electric stove, which is like the little metal coils, and that has a smell when it heats up.
Could have been a different smell, yeah. But still, even if you were smelling like something like a crumb on the stove kind of burning, that's still ridiculous.
I can definitely smell crumbs on the stove. No, it's before that. I can smell the coils heat up. It is a smell. Metal being hot is a smell. I don't know what you want from me. Everything has a smell. This was actually a problem when I had cancer, though, because they would give me medication inside my portacatheter, which was in my chest, that had a direct line to my heart, and they would just push medication straight into that, and I would be able to taste all of it. And the doctors didn't believe me until so they would try to put the medication in while I was sleeping as a way to test me, because they didn't believe that I could taste it. Because nothing like testing children without their consent to see if they react when you don't believe them. Anyway,
how else are we going to advance science?
I woke up from a dead sleep and like almost vomited because I could taste it. I was tasting something enough that it woke me up, which I don't think is an experience a lot of people get to have, is you don't eat things or consume things or taste anything while you're sleeping.
I'm not often woken up by a taste.
Yeah. Adam says, I can hear how hot water is. I don't know if that counts. Well,
just
the bubbles...
the boiling speed? I've gotten used to that too just because of tea.
Yeah, that makes sense. That is the closest thing. I always like those questions where they're like, what's your real life superpower?
Yeah.
Mine is that one, and it doesn't do anybody any good. It's never done anyone any favors. Ever. We were running the other day and I almost choked on like smelling someone's just like house clothing. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know, like how your friends smell like their house or whatever? We were running behind a couple, and I, like, stopped dead in my tracks. Like, I can't breathe. The smell is too much. Well, it's never, like, bad either.
You're also anxious about every piece of medical information you hear, so you heard one time that, like, smelling burning stuff is a sign of a stroke.
True.
And so occasionally you'll just be like, do you smell something burning? And I'm like, well, no, but you probably do. From like That's 3 houses down, so I wouldn't worry about it.
My anxiety will also create false smells. That actually does happen all the time. I'll just be in bed and I'll be like, is that burning plastic? And you're like, why would it be? And I'm like, then it's a stroke. And you're like, it has not been a stroke in 4 years. It's never been a stroke. So when I actually do have a stroke, it's going to suck.
You just got to remove that as a symptom because it's too unreliable.
I guess there are other symptoms, huh?
Yeah.
But that's it. Does anyone else have superpowers?
Albert says, I imagine you could wake up knowing if the cat had pissed on something yet. Now you're describing me.
Wow, I feel like I just stepped into a dad zone. Like, everything about that interaction felt like dads communicating.
I don't like this dad power. I want it gone.
It'll be very useful in the future.
I don't like the stress dad power.
Nah. We're gonna need it.
No.
Yeah.
I want it gone.
For when someone else births our kids, because I'm not willing to do it. We just need roughly $20,000.
So now that I figured out how to kind of get my life under control and remove a bunch of responsibilities from myself and create a situation which I don't have to be stressed. Mm-hmm. And so I wake up every morning just extremely stressed out and anxious for no reason. And now I'm trying to figure that out. This is my new mental health project. Is figuring out why the hell I can't separate, like I can't convince myself there isn't actually anything to be stressed out about anymore.
I think it's probably because you haven't finished anything. Like, I think we've talked about this a little bit, but you're so reward-based that when you don't accomplish something to feel as though it's a large enough reward for yourself, then you get super stressed. I think that's
definitely true. I don't want to feed that anymore, though. Because of this reason. Because right when I can't finish things on a regular basis anymore, mm-hmm. I start having problems. I gotta fix it.
So, not me trying to tell people what their life is like, but that is me all the time. But Ursa says, my mom would kind of experiment with me. I had a severe physical reaction to apples. Not allergic, but I would vomit. And she would try to get me to eat it by hiding apples in my food, and she wouldn't stop. So, that
seems bad.
Is like, that's like textbook classic sign of abuse. Again, your life might be great, and I'm not trying to tell you what's going on in your life. That's not okay. Like, not believing someone's food allergy is actually like abuse. Like, it's just like feeding your child things that makes them sick is not, I'm trying to think of the right word, like a classifiable, like
there's a specific
like it's not
name
subjective. Like, it's objectively according to the people who know what abuse is. That's not acceptable. Because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
Because narcissistic people will decide that you are faking something as a way to make them feel undermined, and will then force you to undergo, like, bad things because they refuse to believe you, because it's an inconvenience on them to believe that you have something that makes you, like, stand out with attention. I read a whole thing about this forever ago about people who specifically had to deal with parents who would force feed them foods that they knew they were allergic to because they didn't want to believe that they were allergic to them, and would just decide they were lying.
That's messed up.
Right, like, how do I lie so hard that my throat closes? Please. Right. Please.
Weird, like, sort of definition shift in my head. It took me a while to, I had to mentally redefine narcissist, because I always heard that and, like, describing somebody who's, like, really, like, outwardly full of themselves and thinks they're great and vocalizes that they're great, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what, like, TV characters who are described as narcissists are, like, Jeff Winger from Community, you know? It's like that. But that's not actually how it looks most of the time. Like, actual real-life narcissists aren't usually people who talk themselves up, I guess.
Yeah.
Because there's people I know who are narcissists, and if you called them that, they'd be like, I don't like myself at all. What are you talking about?
Right.
But that's not really what it means, I guess.
Well, narcissist is the word to describe a person being a certain way, and the narcissist is also a word to describe a condition, like a mental condition. Like, to be a narcissist, you have to meet psychological standards. Basically, you have to show the same symptoms that other people who are a actual narcissist. It's like calling someone like, oh, they're like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Maybe like psycho, like you call someone a psycho, and then there are people who are psychologically.
It sounds similar to things like TV detectives who are labeled as different, like,
narcissism
diseases or something, but it's like there's like a cool TV version or something that people have labeled, but that's not really how it works in real life most of the time. No,
narcissism is an actual diagnosable condition. Actually, I think it was, I don't know why I think this was in our chat, but I think it was actually somewhere else, but someone had mentioned that they were a diagnosed narcissist, and they were trying to, and they knew about it, which is incredibly rare, because narcissism is usually...
It inherently kind of comes along with denying that, right?
Right, yes.
Sort of like one of the problems.
But he was young, and he was diagnosed with narcissism, which was like... And he was like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. So he's trying to do everything he can to not be one. Yeah. But he actually just is having... But it was really fascinating to hear about his story. A
self-aware narcissist.
Yeah, self-aware. Yeah, that was exactly
That's what it is. It's a lack of self-awareness. It's not necessarily like being full of yourself and thinking you're great. It's just like there's no self-awareness behind the actions you do and why they are done to benefit yourself, I guess, is kind of what it actually seems like.
Okay, do you ever like watch or listen to something or really like something because it's so foreign to you that like you just like can't stop spinning in the cycle of whatever that thing is? Like, I am on toxic mother-in-law TikTok. It is not my situation. Kyle's mom is the sweetest, kindest human being ever.
Yeah.
Not even remotely a struggle that I have. But I am on every single platform of toxic mother-in-laws because the dynamic is so fascinating. And like the things you learn that people do, and it's also because my grandma is a narcissist. Like true, all the way through, she's a narcissist. But I didn't know her very well because when I found that out, I was just like, okay, don't talk to that person.
Right.
Because she uses things against you. Go ahead.
Albert pointed out, narcissism is a spectrum, as you might imagine, which makes sense, between form negative and positive and negative forms of self-obsession, which is an interesting way. That's
right.
So you can be obsessed with yourself but negatively, and that's still narcissist.
Right.
Okay.
One of the more interesting things I was reading about narcissism was that they like specifically they thrive on holidays and events because they can get the biggest emotional reaction out of people. Like, narcissists are constantly gauging other people's stress and anxieties levels because they'll get a bigger reaction, causing the narcissist to be the center of attention in those situations.
Sounds like you're describing an energy vampire from What We Do in the Shadows.
Yeah, I know, it does, doesn't it? Like, they'll wait like weddings and birthdays, and then they'll do something wild to try to like divert attention away from whatever is supposed to happen onto themselves, even if it's entirely negative, because they need to feel as though things are about them, like no matter what.
Huh. Interesting.
It's such a fascinating mental condition.
I've not had a lot of experience with these people.
Zork said Freud would say otherwise. Didn't we all just like collectively agree as a society to just like throw Freud away?
Yeah, everyone was just kind of like, you can just forget.
We were like, oh yeah, that
happens.
kind of made sense. And they were like, he was in love with his mother. We were like, okay, let's just get rid of that one then. Probably doesn't know what he was talking about.
Freud would say otherwise would make a good t-shirt though. Just
sometimes people call me a narcissist, but that's normally people who don't know me and think that my self-aggrandizing. That's not even the word.
That's just aggrandizing.
Yeah, I know. I know. Okay, did we ever have the conversation? I'm sure you.
I don't think so. I don't know. I don't remember.
So funny thing. So transition into Autumn's Autumn's test thing. There was a word growing up that I could never pronounce correctly, and so my math teacher would force me to say it every single time in class as a way to like humiliate me into acting better. Yeah. I guess. And so every time the word came up, he would always call on me and be like, "What is this?" And I would have to say it incorrectly every single time. And then he would just like get the class to like collectively laugh at me until they stopped, because it like stopped being funny. And they all got annoyed. Like, then they started being annoyed with me. That whole like one, like, it was punishment for the class, my inability to pronounce that word. We were just talking about this with like military stuff, which is like, oh no, I saw a TikTok on it.
It was the
Geneva
parent.
war crime.
Right.
Which is that if you punish
the parent talking to her kid they made the class sit down because one kid was running around in the class or something, and she was like, "Repeat after me."
Yeah. According to the Geneva Convention,
right.
Punishing, it was something along the lines of
punishing like a group for the crime of one is considered a war crime or something.
Could you imagine like a 5-year-old saying that to their teacher? If I was that teacher and a 5-year-old,
if it was like Ian's kid, yeah.
Right, but I would just change. I would just quit and be like, "You're teaching this classroom because I cannot." What was I talking about? Oh yeah, anyway, I got punished for not pronouncing a word. I didn't get punished. Everyone else got punished by having to wait on me to say it correctly without any help from the teacher while he laughed at me.
So what word was it?
Oh. I will break it into segments and I will say it correctly. It is quadrilateral.
Yeah.
Quadrilateral. Quadrilateral.
Yay, you did it. You got there.
Quadrilateral. It's something about the ER jumping into the L.
Yeah.
Like, it's easiest for me to say quadrilateral.
I have words. I mean,
it's like it gets stuck on the way out, and it gets
like
stuck
that.
right here.
I don't have any words that bad, but if I ever encounter the word edited in a sentence while trying, I will just like face plant over that word for some reason. Like, if I know it's coming and I can think about it, I can say it fine. But if I'm just like trying to talk real fast and throw that into a sentence, I will just stumble and then not know how to catch myself and have to start the sentence over.
Yeah. Edited?
Yeah.
Edited.
It doesn't seem like it should be that hard, but for some reason, if I'm doing it in a sentence full of other words, my brain, like forgets where the ending is and where the start of the next word is.
Yeah.
So I just get confused going through it. Phoenix Rising says I laughed. I'm sorry. Autumn's asking if you're ready for the word. For
yeah. I'm ready for the word. Let's
see if it's as bad as quadrilateral.
It's something about the way that the adderall.
Yeah.
Adderall.
Oh, he discorded it to you. What do we got today?
All right. It is.
Let me see if I even know what it is.
That is obviously.
I'm not sure if I've heard this word before.
Grandiloquent. Grandiloquent.
You want to try running through that just in one?
Grandiloquent. Tell me I'm right.
I honestly, I don't know how else you'd pronounce that word other than grandiloquent. Yeah, I don't know what that would be.
Oh yeah, you said it grandiloquent. You said that as if it was a whole grandiloquent.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's correct or if that's... I've never heard of this word before. This is a very...
I've never heard of this word either.
I can roughly guess kind of what it means. It sounds positive based on the words that... Based on the syllables that form it, but...
Eloquent and grandiose is what I'm getting.
Yeah.
Like how I would describe my aesthetic.
To me, it sounds like it would be something more along the
lines of... I got it right!
Hey!
Yeah.
It sounds like describing like performance more than visuals to me. That's sort of that's the vibe I get from it.
Yeah.
I gotta look up the meaning now.
What's weird is I actually used to be... I think Autumn will tell us the meaning.
Not if I tell us first. Pompous or extravagant in language, style, or manner. Okay, so also Ian. Especially in a way that is intended to impress.
Only when Ian wants to. I was actually the top speller of every single grade I was in up until I got cancer, and then it messed with my brain. And I was literally I couldn't pronounce anything.
Wait, cancer made you spell worse?
Yeah. Well, no, cancer treatment made me spell worse.
Like even now, or just then?
Yeah. Well, I think it messed me up. Well,
it
did a few things. Brain fog. Medication really messes with your ability to cognitively...
That makes sense.
Assist.
How long does that last after you stop taking the medication? Does it ever go away, or does it just sort of lessen?
It can definitely wear off. The problem... So I still have pretty bad brain fog from a lot of the treatment I had. But it does wear off for people, and the problem with what I went through was that I got brain fog, and my cognitive assessing of things was delayed at the age of 12, which is when you start basically I was stunted before I was able to actually develop my brain fully.
That makes sense.
So
Yeah.
it's not that the brain fog necessarily lasted my entire life, as it was that in the time that it was important to process all of the new information, my brain was being delayed by treatment. And then by the time I get into high school, it's not that I don't know the information, it's that I learned the information in a weird way because of the treatment, and the timing, all of that stuff. So
that makes sense.
That's mostly what happened.
You also were actually supposed to be taller, right? So
I'm supposed to be 5'6".
It makes sense that it messed up other stuff.
Yeah.
if it can stunt your growth.
I'm just saying, all the cancer would have done is kill me, but the treatments messed me up bad. I got short and dumb. Thanks, chemo. But yeah, that's all. Anyway, we successfully did it. I'm very proud of myself.
You did. Good job.
Yes. I don't have cancer. I don't have cancer anymore. I had cancer.
Yeah.
I got cancer when I was 12. I had leukemia. Yeah. That's why I'm willing to... That's why I'm willing... How dare you? That's why I'm willing to change my hair all the time. I've already lost it 4 times. What's it gonna do now? It did grow back curlier, though.
Interesting.
When I lost it. And then another chick, she had, straight brown hair, and she lost it, and it came back blonde and curly. Your hair, because your hair follicle like completely dies or something, and then it has to just like regrow.
So it's just like a complete reset, and you just don't know what you're gonna get.
It can be, yeah. I don't know entirely how it works, but I've always liked the idea that your DNA is just like, oh fuck, and then it's gonna like rewrite something. It's like, oh shit, what did we do last time? And then they're just like scrambling to figure it out. They're like, what is it, blonde? Was it curly? Sure, why not? Little SpongeBob in your brain trying to like figure out like, oh crap, where did we leave that? Oh well, let's just send her out with that one, see if it works. Yeah, no, people have come back with entirely different hair color, texture, and like style. That's really interesting. Like curl style or whatever.
Autumn says you're reminding him of a character from The Mandalorian today, which is reminding me that I need to watch The Mandalorian.
I don't. I'm not gonna watch The Mandalorian. The end. Anyway.
Mandalorian's probably the closest, I feel closer to my dad by liking The Mandalorian because it's like a Western, basically. And I've never liked Westerns or any of the movies he likes. But if you make the cowboy Boba Fett, then I'm interested.
I don't like Star Wars.
Yeah, we've been over this.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to go any further than I was just going to I don't like Star Wars, so I don't feel the need to watch The Mandalorian. I'm sure it's good, but I don't, I think I watched the things that was supposed I watched half of the first season, so I think I watched the things that were supposed to convince me it was good.
You watched some of it while I was watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think, it was just slow, which I don't think you were very into.
It is slow, it is Western, two things I don't like. It's a very, I don't know how to, it's what I describe exclusively to myself and other people, but only as my own standards. It's a man show. It does things that men want it to do. Yeah, but not in the way that we usually mean when we do that. It's probably the best version of it. That's why I called it a dad show more than a man show. Maybe it's a dad show. Man show has the wrong connotations. Does it? Yeah, kinda, because I consider Entourage is what I think of when I think of what's a man show, and that's a different thing that I also don't like. This isn't a good way to describe it because I disagree with gendered shows. Yes. But it's the only way I can feel describes the concept that I'm talking about. Dad show. It's not even. Maybe it is dad show. It is a stoic man who shoots things in the desert and is badass because of it. Right? Yeah. These are not the things I value. But that's not even why it's good. Because again, I don't really like Westerns as a genre, because there are ones where it feels like... Nothing about Mandalorian feels like wish fulfillment. It's just an interesting story. I mean, yes, it is about, what even is faceless silent guy. I watched 4 episodes, there was no story. It's a very slow unfolding story. It's a person from a very self-preservation, traditionalist way of life that has to learn to care. It's literally a dad show. He finds a child and has to learn to care for the child and go against the things that he normally does in order to protect the kid's life that he found. That sounds kind of cute, because it's the little baby Yoda, right? Yeah. Sweet baby. Actually, there's been a lot of meme posts that are this is the healthiest father-son relationship in the entire Star Wars universe. Oh, people aren't even arguing. I just look down and it's a dad show. It's a dad show. It's definitely a dad show. Okay. All right. Fair enough. I'm slightly more interested in dad shows. It's slow, but in a really nice way. It's not slow in a get to the point kind of way. It's it's slow in a really relaxing sort of way, a meditative kind of way for me. I don't know. I really like the first season. I want to watch the second one. Halbert says, remember the Man Show? How is that a thing? And I don't know if anyone in this chat's going to know what that was. There was a show called The Man Show? There was a show on MTV, I think, which turned into porn after 10 p.m. Okay. And The Man Show came on, and I was never allowed to watch it, but I think I watched, a clip of some of it. Yeah. And it was just, men ready to get rid of your fucking ugly wife who you hate and look at some hot chicks and cars for an hour. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. That was the tone of the entire show. Jesus. That was the whole thing. If they're talking about what I think they're talking about. Anything Tim Allen is in, I would describe as a man show. Tim Allen fills this weird niche of I'm the only man in a crowd full of women and soft boys for some reason. I don't know why that's the thing that he does. That's fair. Is Yoda gendered? Is
Matt
Yoda
says
a
it's
boy?
a baby child big friend show.
Baby child big friend.
I don't think the
Okay.
Yoda thing has a gender. No.
Okay, so it's okay. All right.
I think it's just a thing.
I like that better.
I have not watched season 2 at all yet, by the way.
And I did like that the Mandalorian was sort of non-gendered, because there's no
yeah,
reason
it
it
feels a
couldn't be.
little bit less than like most of the
But then
because like
didn't they-
Master Chief has a mask, but like he's definitely a dude still because he's like a football player, space marine kind of thing. But like Mandalorian feels a little bit less like that.
I also don't like the mask element. And I know that that's controversial, and I'm willing to accept that I'm wrong on it.
Yeah.
But I don't like not seeing characters' faces.
That's
like, I get
fair.
that that's some of the mystery and cool shit, but like, you don't understand. I was mad that they didn't take off the mask in V for Vendetta. And I know why they didn't. And I know it's more important that they didn't, but I cannot. I'm lacking like the thing that like, you know how people relate to dogs because they can see facial expressions in them?
Yeah.
That's what I need in my characters. If you're like lacking, if you're void of expression, I'm like, I don't care about this. I don't care about you.
Yeah, I don't really have that problem. I can easily I can superimpose emotions on top of faceless things pretty easily. So
Does that make you more empathetic than me then?
I don't know what that means exactly.
Anyway, that's it. It actually, I don't like the faceless element of things.
I think it's cool. It's also I grew up in the era of like, why is Spider-Man why do they always make him take his mask off for half the movie? That's so annoying because the actor just wants FaceTime, so they like do all these like.
Oh,
I just
sure.
remember there was a weird thing early on that people were
That makes
frustrated in
sense.
superhero movies because like actor clearly wanted FaceTime, but I want to see the superhero in the costume fighting, but like 75% of the movie is them lifting the mask up so their face can be on camera. And it was just annoying, like back in the like early movies. And so I don't know. I just think it's kind of cool that like he's got the helmet on the entire time. You just don't see his face.
Yeah.
And not just him. There's other people. Like there are other Mandalorians in the show also, including women, and they're equally as cool, and they all have the
Right.
helmets on. And I don't know.
I've heard that.
I
as
like
well.
that they just leaned into it and didn't like.
Robert asked if I'm anti-masker. Yes, but no.
Can I do that? Can I just wear a Mandalorian helmet around everywhere? Have we gotten to the point where that's acceptable yet?
No.
I mean, I'll wear the actual safety mask under it, but like, will people be okay socially with me just wearing a helmet?
I like the idea of continuing to wear masks after this, like after the pandemic stuff, if only just because, like, I don't know, I feel better. I like being hidden.
Autumn says he's a really good actor and how well he shows emotions also, which is, I think that's also kind of, I really respect actors that can do, like, physical, like, emoting really well.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, well, I mean,
That's
I made...
true. That's actually a really big
I
thing
made
for you now that I
Messier
think about it. You
also,
also
I
made
threw him into that
Diggory
character.
and,
Yeah.
like, you like Spider-Man.
Right.
That all makes sense.
Yeah, actually, Spider-Man's a good example of a character that does not have a face, but is like very expressive still, just in like physical emotions. And then once you, I mean, obviously once you add like the weird eye moving thing. on top
Albert
of that,
says
but-
Kyle's superpower is projecting emotions onto objects and masks, which I think is accurate.
Kind of.
No, it is. That's right.
I have
that makes sense.
Probably entirely unrelated. I have a promotional image for a series I'm working on that I'm going to put up sometime this week.
Post it on the tweet or in the Discord.
At least in the Discord, yeah.
So someone said something that I was gonna... Oh, just to finish off, because I think Matt Brown did this perfectly, they said, the Man Show ended with a well-endowed woman in a bikini bouncing on a trampoline while the host downed a beer. Like,
Cool.
Yeah, no, that, like, truly that was the Man Show. And it
Thanks,
was, like,
man.
popular. It was on every night from, like, 10 to 11. And it was called The Man Show, and they, like, did it all in a big grumbly man voice.
Good lord.
Yeah. Boomers are the worst. You made this. You did this.
Occasionally, I remember that was that.
I would like to crucify an entire.
Do you remember
group of people.
that Philip DeFranco used to do basically exactly that on his entire YouTube channel, though? Before he became, a dad, actually, I guess.
So, slight difference, but yes, that is. Yeah. He did it for clickbait. He
Yeah.
put naked women on the.
Why do you
on
think the TV network was doing it? For money.
No, they weren't advertising it with just a naked woman. The entire show was only naked women. Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't like a, hey, watch this because maybe there will be a naked woman. It was like, guaranteed.
Philip
click
DeFranco
on this.
has said out loud, like now, that he used to have a segment where he would just, like rate women. on
That
his show.
is actually true.
I'm pretty sure his entire channel used to be very like dude bro. Like he's very open about the fact that he used to be like that and changed.
Yeah. Again, I would not classify anything Philip DeFranco did to even.
I'm not saying it's as bad as whatever
show.
this show is.
I'm saying they're.
It just
barely,
reminded me of that.
They're barely in the same category, and that's how like Philip DeFranco's was awful. The Man Show exceeds that. I
believe you. It just
completely.
reminded me of that one thing. I was like, oh yeah, there are sometimes this gets better, like on an individual scale.
Zork just says anything to please the men, huh? And I don't know if that's like sarcastic or not, but it made me laugh. I feel like I want that on a shirt.
Sorry, I'm responding to Autumn. I'm still kind of on the Mandalorian. Is this guy who usually acts in the Mandalorian costume the same guy when he takes the helmet off, or is it like a stand-in most of the time?
Well, if it's the guy from Game of Thrones, then it's that guy.
It is him in the costume, like the entire time when it's even when his face isn't showing.
I don't know if he does all his like stunts or whatever, but yeah, it's the same actor.
That's interesting because that seems definitely more expensive.
To have the big name actor?
Yeah, without showing his face then. Because you could just put somebody else in the costume for less money, probably.
I'm 90% sure that's what I read, and I think it's because women were losing their mind about it because everyone's in love with that actor after watching Game of Thrones.
It's an interesting choice, I guess, is all.
Yeah, no, that's probably true. Enjoyer of Music says, is Austin/San Antonio weird? In downtown Boston, no one would bat an eye if someone was wearing a full Mandalorian costume.
I really, Austin, acts like it's that way, but I feel like we'd still get looks, or we'd still get, weirded out if you tried to do something like that.
Yeah, Austin's not nearly as weird as it thinks it is.
Yeah.
Austin is quirky pick-me girl. In
It
San
is.
Antonio,
Austin is I'm not like the other girls in the city.
Yeah. In San Antonio, I do think you'd get looks. I just don't think
they just
care.
wouldn't care. Yeah, San Antonio is not weird, but also is incredibly chill and does not give a crap. Because we can go around and film wherever we want. Yeah. And nobody cares.
Nobody.
I remember the first time we got there, we filmed the hobo video with the puppet out behind, just like in a parking lot in a shopping center. Yeah. And the security guard kind of drove up and was like, "Hey, I don't think I'm not really supposed to let people just hang out here." And we're like, "Oh, okay. We're sorry. We're just doing a video. We can leave or something. We're almost done." He's like, "No, it's fine."
Yeah.
He just didn't give a crap.
Yeah. No, that's definitely true.
And then we went down to the Pearl to film the Guards Themselves sketch that one time, just in the middle of the day, people walking around, picked a table, sat down, shot it. No one cared.
No one cared.
Everyone in Austin would care so much though if you tried to do it. People would kick you out so fast if you tried to film around Austin.
Austin's vibe is the opposite of immaculate. It's bleh. I hope Matt left.
The Zork says the actor for The Mandalorian said he'd be upset if it wasn't him. He didn't want something similar to what happened to Vader's actor to happen to him.
What is that? What happened to Vader's
actor?
So
I'm kind of wishy-washy on this story because I feel like, from what I've heard, David Prowse, the guy who was in the Darth Vader costume, kind of was a big baby over the entire situation, from what I can remember. Maybe it has been skewed and I've just been tricked.
I'll never believe anything anymore about people and their behavior on set, if only because of what they did to Katherine Heigl.
Well, and just because I know what the film industry is like, so maybe he was sort of, but also maybe let it go after 60 years. Basically, he was.
I'm not the person to say that.
That's fair. He was the guy in the Darth Vader costume.
Yeah.
And he thought, for some reason, I don't know if he was directly told and just lied to, or if there was misunderstanding or what happened, he assumed that it was going to be his voice in the final comp of the movie.
Yeah.
If you listen to raw footage of the movie, no way in hell that was ever going to happen. Oh. Dude sounds weird and not threatening at all. They revoiced the character with James Earl Jones.
Right.
I don't know, it seemed like a pretty straightforward thing to me, but then he's always had this issue of I'm the real Darth Vader, and everybody's been okay, dude.
Well, how long were they fucking filming? This seems like a very easy thing to clear up from someone.
I don't know the details of the situation. I don't know if he was just straight up lied to and then had his voice replaced afterward, and then I'm not sure exactly what happened.
Yeah, that seems like the most obvious thing.
The Zork said he got screwed out a lot of money. That makes sense. If he actually just didn't, if he was promised a role that he was going to get paid for and then got that taken away, then I entirely get it.
I mean, yeah, if someone's like, hey, you want to be a main actor in a movie? And then they're like, haha, just kidding. You were literally a sock puppet. then it would be like, I would be fucking furious till I died, dude.
Yeah.
But also, like, again, it doesn't feel like it's his fault because if he understood that, that means it was conveyed to him that way.
Oh, yeah, no.
And there were many, many opportunities for anyone to be like, hey, it's not that way, dude.
I used to assume that he was just kind of being, like, petty about it, but, like, having now interacted very closely with people in the film industry, no way in hell it was his fault. Like, people definitely just gave him misinformation and then screwed him out of stuff. He also did die recently. That was actually this year, I think. But he showed up to, like, he's been at, like, every single Comic-Con across the country since the movie came out, basically.
I hate celebrities and I hate celebrity cultures, but, like, I don't normally blame actors anymore. Like, having literally been involved in such a small part of the other side.
With other entities within the film industry, I don't usually blame the actors.
Right,
yeah.
Okay, that's the setting for which...
The actors are usually the ones with being mistreated in that situation.
Deadpool 2 used a bunch of money for Invisible Brad Pitt.
I remember that. That was amazing. I will say, Deadpool, like, for any opinions on Deadpool, it probably is my absolute favorite movie in terms of just going so ham on, like, unnecessarily expensive cameos.
Yeah.
Like, it goes so overboard. You remember the one scene where they're, like, walking around in the X-Men mansion? And, like, they walk past the door and literally all of the X-Men are in the room and just kind of silently close the door. Like, they got every actor back in costume for that one shot. It was amazing.
That's what we live for. Autumn says, why does the money matter more than being able to feel the role was properly represented?
I guess I wouldn't say that is... I don't think that's exactly the way I'm thinking about it. It's more of just both. Like... In my head, previously, the reason I used to think it was more on his fault because I was thinking, like, well, what did he expect was going to happen? They weren't recording his audio on set. It's a big spooky character. Like, I don't know. In my head, I was like, obviously they would revoice the character. How would you not assume that's what's going to happen, I guess? Right.
It's all about what you tell people, though.
But yeah, it's different if... Like, I don't know what the communication was, and it almost definitely was not... I mean, clearly it was not communicated to him that was going to happen.
We literally understand exactly how bad communication can be on set, though.
Yeah.
Like, we know firsthand how awful
it is. He 100% believes that it was going to be his voice, that he probably was going to be called back in to re-record the voice later, and was going to be known for the role and also get paid for it, and then all that apparently was just not given
also,
to him.
I kind of think it makes sense to pay the voice actor and the physical actor equal amounts of money.
Right, I have no idea how that worked either. They both represented
the character
They weren't.
equally.
I mean, they definitely weren't paid equal amounts of money, but I don't know, so...
Dumb. I mean, that being said, I think Vader is one of the stiffest, like, puppiest looking, characters on screen. So, like, that being said, like, I mean, the voice acting did definitely do Vader a lot more justice than the
reason the guy that was in the costume was because he was tall, mostly. He was a tall, wide-framed guy.
Yeah. Everything about making Star Wars sounds like a freaking nightmare.
Oh, it so was.
Everything about it, everything I've heard.
Absolutely was. It was just, everything was just falling apart the entire, like, I've heard, like, Mark Hamill talking about, like, doing takes and, like, parts of the set just falling off in the middle of the take, and then just being like, turning to George Lucas and being like, is this working at all? And him being just like, not even in it, and just like, yeah, it's fine, just do it again. And the actors, like, the whole time were like, I guess we're getting some money for this, so let's, like, well, just get through it. Don't worry about it.
I was mostly just thinking about the actor dynamics with each other and how much everyone fucking hated each other on set, dude.
Yeah, the whole thing sounds like a nightmare. The reason Star Wars is the original movie is impressive is because it's just somehow worked afterwards. That's the only like, nothing about it should have pulled through.
That's yeah. The best thing to ever come out of Star Wars was Carrie Fisher, the human.
Yeah, she was pretty great.
She was super great.
I think there was one other thing I wanted to...
She is probably the closest thing I have to, like, an icon or an idol in celebrity culture.
Really?
Yes, easily. Everything she says is brilliant. Yeah, one time when someone was like, so you physically transformed for a role? She's like, yeah, I lost weight. And they were like, wow, that's amazing.
Oh, right.
She's like...
That interview?
What do you want to talk about with this? What is you're skinny already? What is the point? Do you need weight loss tips?
It was like a female interviewer, so she just ended up asking her all the questions preemptively
she was like, what do you do to get in shape? I also really like Anne Hathaway too. I like all of her interviews and the way she conducts herself, and mildly Scarlett Johansson. But I think IRL I'd hate pretty much everyone because they're celebrities, except Carrie Fisher. Carrie Fisher is the grandma I feel like I deserve, despite having no claim to that.
She definitely feels more like your actual grandma.
Yeah, the one I should have gotten.
Mike Leslie asked if we heard about the virtual set they use in The Mandalorian. Yes, my ultimate goal is somehow recreating that in my bedroom. That thing is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
Albert Green says, "Okay, we're up. We hate Star Wars, the talk show."
It has been called. I'm excited.
That's fine. We don't have to talk about it.
I'm excited for the TV shows. I'm really curious to see if the future ones they're making the Obi-Wan Kenobi show
with
Ewan McGregor.
I'll be there for that one.
Mandalorian's been good, so I'm really curious to see. I think just keep giving Jon Favreau things. I don't know why everybody isn't just giving him all the movies.
Did he make The Mandalorian?
Yeah.
Wow.
He just makes everything better. He improves everything that he touches, and then he disappears into the night to go do the next thing.
That's fascinating. Obi-Wan...
Although he did also direct The Lion King, which was just kind of a thing, I guess.
The Lion King was fine.
But
I don't think anything that happened on The Lion King was his fault.
At worst, his movies are fine, probably because they are overproduced Disney movies that executives have gotten all their hands in. But
I guess he has Disney's MVP, huh?
He does. Yeah, they have. Well, he kickstarted the Marvel universe, so he's kind of valuable for that reason. It is 10, and I have to go. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you guys for tuning in.
Yeah, Kyle's got a therapy appointment.
I do. I have an online thing to go do.
Put your push the buttons in the Discord chat, and we'll answer them there.
Yeah. I'll let Allison talk to you guys in the Discord. I'm gonna go ahead and close it off. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, Thursday, sometime. I don't know. This is a weird week. We'll be back at some point. Check in the morning.
The smallest eyeballs.
Bye, everybody.
They're so teeny tiny.